All kinds of combinations you can pick in this game.
No question about it. Those have been two of the most consistent players in the league.
Wizards wearing the gold jerseys with the black pants again on the road tonight. And we are underway in Phoenix. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier as Washington looks to go 3-1 on this road trip. This is their fourth game in the last 6 nights.
Pass a little too high for Shawn Marion, even though it was up on the top of the square.
Gilbert's first shot is no good. Chased down, and it'll be given to Washington. Wizards come off a 7-point victory last night in Sacramento. Phil, that was an excellent win. Anytime you can win there at Arco, it's a good one.
A 44-point third quarter is what turned everything around.
And this guy, Antoine Jamison, was hot as a firecracker. At a season-high tying 33 as Butler shoots and scores.
Well, you talk about the matchups. You're right. Caron Butler. That guy right there, Shawn Marion. But how about in the hole? Brendan Haywood has to do a strong job against Stoudemire.
Butler again. Tough fadeaway. This one he misses. Haywood battling, gets the rebound. Brendan goes up inside, score the field goal, and he will go to the line. Phil, he has been different player since he got back into the starting lineup.
Yeah, this is his 6th start. He had 9 offensive rebounds in the game last night against Sacramento. Pulls this one down, works his way to the basket. Little flip-up, reverse layup shot. Nicely done.
Haywood completes the 3-point play last night at Sacramento. 12 points and 14 rebounds and a block. He went 5 of 8 from the field. Nash goes all the way and scores.
Just a nice give and go between him and Diaw.
Gilbert underneath. They kick it out for the open Jamison at the top of the key, and he comes up a little bit strong. Get your oxygen mask ready for this game.
I was going to say, if you love offense, this is a game you're going to enjoy watching.
That's exactly what the Wizards are going to have to guard against. And they can go inside or kick it outside with that penetration from Nash.
Obviously, Amari Stoudemire started this season off slow, obviously coming off those 2 knee injuries, surgeries, I should say. But he has really rounded out into shape now.
Jamison flip shot is good. 33 last night at Sacramento for Antoine Jamison, tied his season high. Also had 13 rebounds. He hit 5 of 8 3-point shots. Foul and the basketball. That's already happening very too easily for Phoenix.
Well, the shovel pass gets to the man so quickly, Brendan doesn't have a chance to get back into position. You see he's trying to protect on Nash, doesn't have enough time. That quick shovel pass from Nash over to Amari Stoudemire.
Stoudemire, in the last game they played, which was here Tuesday night against Toronto, had 28 points. He had 22 of them in the first half.
And he's been playing some spectacular ball. 3rd in the league in field goal percentage, so he's shooting extremely high percentage.
Here's DeShawn Stevenson, who shoots and misses. And if he looks like a different player, it's because he got a haircut in Sacramento. Some people, I talked to him before the game. He said, some guy said, who is that guy on the Wizards team? Well, it's DeShawn Stevenson as Steve Nash gets his 2nd field goal.
Well,
and the Suns take the lead.
I talked about Stoudemire, 3rd in the league in field goal percentage, 62%. But, you know, you've got a guard shooting 52% in Steve Nash. That's why this team is #1 overall in field goal percentage.
Jamison again trying to back down. Marion off the glass, no good. And the rebound to Stoudemire.
Those are the kind of rebounds you want to see Brendan really clean up when his man, Amari Stoudemire, leaves him.
That's off a Wizard leg out of bounds with 15.
From anybody on the squad. And there's just a sense of, what can I do to help others? All set by Steve Nash, who is really like Santa Claus, makes everybody happy.
Stoudemire missing, rebounded by Jamison. You look at Barbosa coming off the bench for the Suns team. He's one of their leading scorers. And as Mike D'Antoni said, not a selfish bone in his body. Loves his role on this basketball team. Only 131 minutes during this 15-game winning streak has the Suns trailed as Nash gets inside again. 6 points for him, 3-point Phoenix lead.
Eddie Jordan for Washington, he said that the biggest concern is going to be managing the pace of this game. He cannot be happy early on with the offensive productivity of his Wizards.
Jamison unable to knock down the jumper, and Diaw clear.
And it's the Wizards who look like they traveled today. Normally in these bad weather situations, it's always the road team, but this occasion, it's the home team that's up against it.
Washington left Sacramento late last night after its win on the road. Diaw inside, got the roll. 12-2, Phoenix running.
Tied at 12. Here's Nash. Pumps it inside for Diaw's fading jumper. Missed everything, and Haywood has it. Stevenson up the court. Deshaun backs in on a fading jumper off to the left. Leaves Kurt Thomas open, and he drills it.
I tell you, Steve Nash is so good with those bounce passes. Can always find what that lane is, where that lane is, and distribute the bounce pass to the shooters.
Thomas in his 12th year from TCU, and with a couple of different teams. Gilbert Arenas hits a 2-point field goal. In fact, Thomas last year, despite the fact he's been around for a long time, still averaging 8.5 points and almost 8 rebounds. Marion misses. Haywood is there.
That's his 4th rebound, so he's off to a terrific start.
Game tied at 14. Arenas trying to give the Wizards the lead. Follow is there by Stevenson. I keep having to take a second look at him because without the dreads, you almost don't. He almost looks like Larry Hughes.
I'm glad we talked on the phone. I know you were in Phoenix, but you told me that he was getting a haircut. I wouldn't have recognized him either when I first saw him.
I asked him why before the game. He said, I just felt like a change. You know, he's a great-looking guy. He used to be a model when he was in high school and part of college. He said he modeled in Las Vegas for a clothing company. Butler's jumper missed badly.
Well, Diaw bothered him on that release.
Tied at 16, Nash looking for the give and go to Thomas. He does, and he converts.
Once again, he finds that little seam between two defenders and delivers the nice bounce pass right in rhythm to Thomas.
You know, Stockton and Malone were the best probably ever at that, but Nash is right there with him.
Yeah, and he's doing it to 3 or 4 different players.
Right. Stevenson. Good no call, drives. Haywood is there to put it up. No call there. Haywood again goes up and scores. How about Brendan Haywood?
Them play. A lot of contact coming both ways.
8 points for Haywood, 3 of 3 from the field, and 5 rebounds. I'm just so impressed with the way he's played, Phil. And of course, Todd Thomas missing another game after rolling the ankle back in Washington against Houston. And not going to play on this trip, obviously. Three-pointer, no good.
And this is a game where Brendan can really make a difference. Phoenix, a team that doesn't have your traditional center.
Arenas for Haywood inside. Reverse layup's a beauty. He looks like Wilt Chamberlain out there.
Nice deliveries from Gilbert Arenas.
Haywood another rebound, and he got fouled in the backcourt by Raja Bell.
Boy, look at his numbers, 10 and 7 already.
Between the Grizzlies and the Hornets in Oklahoma City, it's late, and that's Chris Paul.
What a move by Chris Paul. Come up, didn't shoot the ball well, but what a gritty performance by he and the Hornets. They've been decimated by injury.
That's what you call driving through everybody. And Paul Gasol on the drive there ties it at 90 and sends the game to overtime. And in the overtime, the Oklahoma State product, Desmond Mason coming through. He had 7. Hornets win at 197.
My collar's fixed now, too.
Your collar all right?
Yeah.
Good.
Exciting game there, and a good one here. We knew going into this game that we'd see a high-scoring affair between Washington and Phoenix. Have not been disappointed here in the early going.
Washington has controlled the offensive backboards. They've got 3 already for 9 second-chance points, and Gilbert Arenas is on fire right now after a sluggish start.
7 points now for Arenas. Marion gets inside. Arenas missed his first 2, but he's 3 out of his last 4 from the field, and
which is really the microcosm of Gilbert's and the Washington Wizards season. A slow start, on fire, and once you get the rhythm going, there's no slowing them down. And that timeout when they were down early in the first couple of minutes by Eddie Jordan. Ever since then, it's been all Washington. Remember, they won here last time. They played a year ago on December 23rd.
Missed by Dial. Caron Butler had the basket on the other end for Washington. How about Kobe Bryant's comments about Gilbert Arenas saying that the shots that Arenas takes are crazy shots? Arenas said, well, not a big deal, as Jamison hits a 2.
I had to go back and reread those comments. I was not quite sure who said them or what he was saying until I read them the 5th time. Kobe Bryant calling somebody else's shot selection unconscionable? Oh, me.
Arenas said to Caron Butler, hey, you got to talk to your buddy Kobe. Butler and Kobe Bryant are friends from their days together with the Lakers. Here's Dial floating. Can't get the roll. Out to Marion.
It's the best I've ever seen Brendan Haywood play.
Now he's got confidence after a double-double last night in Sacramento. Haywood with 10 points, 8 rebounds already, and Washington leads by 7. Spins out to Marion.
Gilbert Arenas, maybe he brought his high-altitude training tent with him on the road. He lives in that super oxygenated tent in his home in Washington.
Definitely a quirky guy, as Thomas can't knock down. Oh, he did. He got the roll for Thomas with 4 points in the game. You're talking about Arenas. He's got a collection of about 350 autographed NBA jerseys. The only thing that's quirky about that is not many NBA guys do that. Takes his jersey off after every single game, home or away, win or loss, and throws it into the stands.
And there are Wizard fans who go around, but as we look at Kobe Bryant's quote, he doesn't seem to have much of a conscience. I really don't think he does. Some of the shots he took tonight, you missed those, and they're just terrible shots, awful.
And here's the response from Arenas saying, you can't say anything to somebody who has 3 rings. I have no hard feelings. In my mind, he's still the best player in the league. Granted, Arenas put up 60 that night. That was on Sunday. And Arenas, as the buzzer sounds, knocks down a 3 to give him 10 in the game.
Some rumbling right now. Some questioning of the crowd by the Phoenix Suns' productivity here. They're now down 8.
Now, if anybody can hang with Phoenix in terms of putting points on the board, it's Washington, top scoring team in the Eastern Conference. A miss by Thomas.
Phoenix, though, has not lost to an Eastern Conference team this year.
Well, they're 9-0, 9-6 against the West. Butler with the finish. There are 4 white shirts around him, and now Mike D'Antoni gets teed up.
And he's in serious jeopardy of being ejected from this game. Tony Brothers says, I've heard enough from you, Mr. D'Antoni. Mark Ivoroni, Rajabel trying to calm him down. But right now, the Wizards are just quicker to the ball. This has nothing to do with any referee situation.
There are 4 white shirts around Caron Butler. Out-hustled them to get to the ball.
Phoenix, they look like they've been locked up in a hotel room for 3 or 4 days, on a bus ride for 3 hours through the bad traffic. The loose ball, Caron Butler comes back and throws it down. D'Antoni trying to get some emotion going his way. This is a calculated move by Mike D'Antoni. Unless some of these players get their legs and start running. Remember, this squad, Phoenix, came straight from the airport. They have been on the road for quite some time now.
Marion hits Phoenix's first 3 of the game, and maybe that will ignite the Suns.
It certainly gives the crowd something to cheer about. Rarely will you hear these loyalists here in the Valley of the Sun complain about their heroes. But
Arenas again from outside. 14, make it 13 now for Gilbert Arenas.
is this still the first quarter?
They put up 44 in the 3rd last night. Of course, earlier this season, they gave up 46 in a quarter. Washington did, and here they give up a layup to Kurt Thomas, who has 6 points off the bench. Make it 8 points off the bench in the quarter for Thomas.
Manage your clock. If you get it going right now, you can have 2 possessions.
There was a game that went to double overtime between the Suns and Nets. There was in the 160, 161, 157. We might get there in regulation now, as that was knocked out of bounds last by Washington.
Gilbert Arenas in the zone right now. Matured so much physically, mentally, personally, every aspect of his game on fire. His determination to become a star in this league may be unsurpassed. He's got a little personal grudge against Mike D'Antoni. We'll get into that as this game goes on.
8 seconds remaining in the quarter. Sean Marion on the drive, and a foul on Jarvis.
And Mike D'Antoni here, he wants to show them up because they let him go as assistants on USA Basketball with Coach K. I asked him about it tonight. He said, hey, look, they made a decision that they thought they had to make. I obviously felt I could play on the team. If it presents itself again, I'm welcome to go back. I'd have to think about it if I will. But you can bet one thing tonight, he said. I'm going to let them know that I have a game. And so far, he has.
And Mike D'Antoni said, he may get 100, but that might not be enough.
Arenas.
Oh, my God.
.3 on the clock. Gilbert Arenas, 17 in the quarter. Washington puts up 39 in the period, the most points allowed by the Suns in the first quarter this season.
And Gilbert got off to a slow start in this game, missing his first couple of shots, and D'Antoni still working the referee. But this has been the Gilbert Arenas show. That is a 35-footer.
17 in the first for Gilbert Arenas, and Washington with an 11-point lead on the Suns after one.
Remember, they've come against one of the top three-point shooting teams in the Suns. Washington out-rebounding the Suns 15-9. Brendan with 10 of those 15 rebounds. That leads to those 11 second-chance points as well. So offensively, they're off to a great start.
How many times have we seen Gilbert Arenas plan to come across the midcourt stripe at the end of a quarter and fire it up? Against Philadelphia, he did it at the end of the first quarter and the end of the second quarter.
That's right. Absolutely.
And they both went in.
And does it again here tonight in this first quarter. You know what? Why you know this is going to be an exciting game. Look at the number of shot attempts combined. 54 shots up in the first quarter alone. Washington had 30. The Suns 24.
Both these teams, Phil, got off to a disappointing start. The Suns started 1-5, and since then they've won 17 of 18 games. Of course, the Wizards were 4-9. They've won 9 of their last 12.
Yeah, you know, you go back to the Suns' last loss. That was last month in Utah. It was an overtime loss. That was a game that Steve Nash didn't play in. Since then, he's been back, and they've reeled off 15 consecutive wins. And they also have 5 players averaging 15 or more points. That's something that doesn't happen very often, but that shows you how balanced this team is. And as I said before, they had Stoudemire rounding into shape and getting back to the form he had 2 years ago.
But they are keeping him on the bench to start the second quarter with 2 personal fouls. Kurt Thomas starts the quarter. And they've also got Jermaine Jones in the game. Here's Butler looking for Jamison. Wizards by 11. This matches their largest lead. Jamison flip shot gets the roll. And the Wizards lead by 13 points as we start the second quarter. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier. Washington looking to go 3-1 on this road trip. After their only loss coming at Denver on Monday night, the Wizards got out of Denver at about 11 o'clock Tuesday morning. The Suns flew in there after beating Toronto here Tuesday night and got caught in that snowstorm and have spent the last 3 nights in Colorado. They just flew in literally about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I understand they left Colorado Springs. They had to bus to Colorado Springs and then fly in. They left about 4 o'clock. And just getting in, and you don't know how that's going to affect them. Sometimes you see teams come out in that situation with very little rest, and they are flat, and then other times you see them come out with a lot of energy. But so far, we haven't seen a difference. It's certainly been a fast-paced game.
Jermaine Jones in his 8th year from Georgia hits.
D'Antoni going with slightly different look. Jermaine doesn't play a lot, or hasn't played a lot so far this season.
5 straight points by Phoenix. Here's Jarvis again. This one misses. That's 2 in a row for him. And the first one was an air ball. Jones again. Oh, somebody got pushed, but Stevenson gets the rebound. Up ahead to Butler. Butler challenges Jones, and they call an offensive foul. Boy, I thought he was still backing up.
I thought so, too. They're running down court.
Yeah, tough call. Butler Butler penetrates, throws it up, draws a foul. This 13-2 run, Phil, has come with Steve Nash on the bench.
Well, they've got some good play from Jermaine Jones, and Diao has certainly stepped it up. And as you said, the Brazilian blur has been just that. Nice move by Karan that time. The crossover gets away from Jermaine Jones and eventually draws the contact.
Taking a look at our Toyota League leaders, and once again the highest scoring trio in the league for back-to-back seasons, at least for now, is Butler, Arenas, and Jamison.
Well, collectively they're averaging a little over, right around 67 points per game. You can see that is total points.
But in the last 3 games, they've been unbelievable.
Averaging just under 90 points, Steve. 89-plus points a game. Of course, that includes Gilbert's tremendous 60-point game.
Jamison got hit by Jones. Kevin Fair electing not to make the call. Here's Arenas. They switch out to help. Now he goes to Jamison. Leaves him open. And he misses the jumper. Stoudemire and Nash getting set to come back in for Phoenix. For the long 3. Up ahead to Arenas, who's lurking at the other end, and he scores the layup.
Great heads-up play by Daniels. Antonio realized that Gilbert was streaking, didn't waste any time in throwing that long court pass.
Wizards by 6, 7:27 to go in the half. 19 points for Arenas, had 17 in the first quarter. Diao uses that left arm a lot. Here's Barbosa for the jumper. No good for 3. Thomas with an elbow.
Back of, yeah, Brendan.
How can you be an official standing 3 feet away from that and not see it?
That's Kirk Thomas's game. He's going to bump you. And he can hit that outside shot. Brendan, though, got a little too close and allowed Kirk Thomas to drive by him.
34-year-old Thomas, averaging 6.5 points, 6.5 rebounds. Butler's jumper, a little short. 4-point Washington lead. Well, Barbosa missed the 3 and the rebound to Diao. Barbosa will try it again. This time he gets it.
They've got a slew of three-point shooters. Barbosa, Raja Bell, second in the league in made threes. Of course, Steve Nash.
Wizards' 13-point lead is slipped to 1. Haywood inside. Well, they're letting them
go, and I like that they're not calling those flops. Yep. So often, I mean, Diao's saying, what can I do but try and get a little bit of contact and fall backwards?
That's exactly what Jack Nees looked over to Mike D'Antoni and said. It's a flop. D'Antoni wanted the foul. That's nearly a travel. It's a basket instead. Raja Bell in his 7th year from Florida International. Again, Washington by 1 with 5.5 to play in the first half. Arenas, great move. Lost the ball. And Eddie Jordan will take time. 22nd variety. The Suns with their first lead since they were up 14-12. Lead it by 1. Hey, fans, watch the Wizards games when you want to with Comcast Sportsnet on demand. It's on Comcast Digital Cable. Comcast Sportsnet, nobody does basketball better. Phoenix has won 25 of the last 34 games against the Wizards, including 15 of the last 17 at home. Last year was one of those games the Wizards won by 1 point here in Phoenix. And the other was when Michael Jordan hit that game-winning jumper with 0.2 of a second to play in February of 2002 here. Brendan Haywood with a very strong first quarter of play, and he has continued to play well. Getting the start once again for the injured Todd Thomas. He wants to win his starting job back. Last night had 12 points and 14 rebounds. You see his average over the last 5.
9 of those offensive rebounds. 9 of those rebounds were offensive rebounds, so he's been extremely aggressive.
Arenas drives on Bell, works free for the jumper and hits.
Oh, that's a tough shot. Stopped on the dime. Roger Bell, a very, very good defensive player, too.
Wizards have been outscored in this second period 22-12 so far. Here's Bell for the open jumper. They are the number 2 3-point shooting team in the league.
Yeah, they're 10 of 15 in this quarter. That's 67%. Washington has to do something to cool it down a little bit.
Haywood, great rebound. Looked like somebody had a hold of a Butler for the jumper. No good.
I like the fact that Brendan, instead of trying to force something, got the ball to Caron.
Well, that ball hit Stoudemire, I think, in the back of the head. Butler, nicely done underneath.
That goes to show you got to be watching Nash at all times. You can get hit with the ball.
Absolutely. Here's Bell for the open J. And the rebound to Jamison. Wizards by a point. Butler down low. Quick jump stop, beautifully done. But look at this game, would you? It's a track meet.
Up and down. Much like we said in that Denver game, there's really no need for the 24-second shot clock. Both these teams like to get it up, and they'll take the first shot they see.
Yeah, just save the energy, turn them off. Gilbert drives, puts it up, missed it. Haywood, and a loose ball foul will be called on Haywood.
But you still like that kind of effort. That's his second personal. I think Eddie's going to get him out.
Yao Ming.
Foul was on Haywood, his second. First, make that second on Washington of the period. Barbosa's 3 spins out. And here comes Antonio Daniels, former first-round pick of the then Vancouver Grizzlies. Daniels falling away, can't hit it over Stoudemire, and Sean Marion clears. Wide night for Marion so far, only 6 points. Arenas leaves Bell wide open, and he can't hit the shot. Phoenix only 3 of 15 from three-point land, but down just 3.
Beautiful article by Paul Caro in today's Arizona Republic about Raja Bell and the long, strange trip he's had getting to the promised land here.
2 years at Arizona, averaged about 16 points and almost 4 rebounds, couple of assists in 70 games. And in 2001, helped lead Arizona to a spot in the national championship game. They lost to Duke in that game. Gilbert had 10 points and 4 assists in the contest. His career high in college, 30 points against UCLA. You see his numbers, and of course, one of the most significant number is 0. He wears the number 0 because his detractors going into college, where he got little or no publicity, thought he would get basically no playing time at all, and he said, okay, I'll wear that just to remind you and everybody else.
Well, I'm sure Gilbert didn't think that he would get no time. He's one of the more confident players in this league. And boy, is he having a terrific first half. 4 of 6 from three-point range. Already with 21 points.
Jarvis Hayes for 2 free throws. Gets the first. Our quarterly report as the Wizards bench contributing just 1 point, that coming now 2 from Jarvis Hayes at the free throw line, and Phoenix with 22 points. They've scored 24 here in the second quarter, shooting 53%, while the Wizards have scored 16 in the period. Amari Stoudemire, the Rookie of the Year in 03.
It's good to see him back playing with the same type of energy and strength that he did before those knee surgeries.
Had surgery on October 11th last season and played just 3 games. Arenas scored the field goal, and Gilbert will go to the line.
Now you wonder how he can get a shot off like that over a guy that's got 3 or 4 inches on him and is a terrific jumper. He just leans into him, freezes him for that split second, and then gets the shot off quickly before Marion can get off his feet.
Well, we've got 2:18 to play in the second quarter, and Arenas has 24 points.
He's making some money for schools again.
He always does, doesn't he? Schools in the D.C. area have to love Gilbert and Mr. Poland for that matter. Wizards by 6. They've led by as many as 13. Marion for Barbosa's long jumper, no good. And the Wizards are there for the rebound.
Good job. They wanted to get the ball inside to either Marion or Stoudemire, but Washington defended it well.
Just a little bit short by Arenas, and Stoudemire has the board. Nash the other way. Watch out. Crafty.
Passes well with either hand.
Stoudemire moving screen. They don't call it. And Nash gets the field goal. He's got 8 points on 4 of 6 shooting, 5 assists in the game. Jarvis Hayes kicks it out for Daniels. AD lays it underneath for Haywood. Haywood shoots and scores again.
A lot of contact. They decided to not call the block by Barbosa, who was well inside that restricted area.
14 points, 9 rebounds for Haywood in the half. Nash kicks it out. Long jumper. And Gilbert's there to chase it down. Up ahead to Jarvis. Ill-advised pass.
He made that pass before he really looked to see where the defense was.
And he fouls Steve Nash. And they're going to... I don't think they'll count it. Nash hit an amazing shot when he wheeled around Arenas. But they didn't count it.
And I don't think Nash is very surprised, but just what reaction this guy has. The quickness, the ability to know where he is, even when he spins around.
First personal on Gilbert. Nash into the corner. They swing it to Raja Bell for the open jumper, no good. Sun shooting 52% from the field, Wizards 50%.
See, Brendan Haywood already has a double-double, his 3rd of the year. What
a tremendous shot. And you know what? I don't think it's going to count. I think he stepped on the line. That's too bad. Nash for the open jumper off the screen. Well, the pace of this game is unbelievable.
They really allow Amari Stoudemire to come up, not set a pick, but come up and set a block. He gets too close to the guy that he's screening. We'll see if they keep an eye on that some.
I don't think they will. They're so used to it happening that it's become commonplace. Gilbert with 4 on the shot clock. Wheels for Jamison for the short jumper. Good by Antoine Jamison with 1 2/10 seconds to play in the half. And Marion, good if it goes. What a first half here in Phoenix. Arenas with 24 points, 17 in the first quarter. And Brendan Haywood already with a double-double. 14 points, 10 boards. Wizards led by as many as 13. And at the break, they're up by 6 as we send you back to our Comcast Sportsnet studios in Bethesda. And join our colleague, David Lee.
Good play.
Sitting in the stands is Jerry Colangelo. Coaching against you tonight is Mike D'Antoni. Those guys let you go. Part of the triumphant that let you go on USA Basketball. How much is that playing a part in this here tonight?
You know, I know what I said, at the beginning of the summer where I said I was going to score 50. I'm almost there.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Show.
Well, 64-58 is the score as the Wizards are winning down in Phoenix. Washington shooting 51% in the game. Phoenix, ironically enough, shooting 52%, so no lack of offense here. Fred Hickman alongside Greg Anthony and Tim Legler. And when you look at this Washington team, you're getting some balance, at least in the first half. But, hey, this is a team that has won 7 of 9 coming in.
Well, they have. A lot of people wrote them off after they start on the road at 0-8, but they've won 4 out of the last 5, and now you're starting to see them get production from other areas. You know about Gilbert Arenas, but how about Brendan Haywood, 14 and 10 in the first half? If they get that kind of production out of the center position, Washington could be a dangerous team in that Eastern Conference.
The lob, Eddie Curry, the finish. She had 20 and 6. Knicks up 93-79, and then Stephon Marbury finds David Lee. He's been awesome. 12 and 14 for Lee. Knicks win 3 in a row for the first time this season. 103-92 is your final. Check out the situation in the Atlantic Division. The Raptors and Nets share the division lead at 4 games under 500. The Knicks are just a half game back, and the Sixers, just off that awful 12-game slide, are just 4.5 games off the pace.
Nuggets down 1 AI, the 3. Nuggets up 69-67. The short-handed Nuggets. Later, Earl Boykins with the steal to AI. bottom. 71-69 Denver. But in the fourth quarter, Kings up 4. John Salmons with the 3. Sacramento goes on to win 101-96. So I told you that moving forward, Allen Iverson is in town. He winds up with 22 points and 10 rebounds in the game. We've been talking about it all night long, guys. The fact that this was probably going to be a seamless transition because of his style of play and because of George Karl's offense.
Well, ironically, he played well tonight. And from statistically, your first game, he 22 points, 10 assists, sounds like a good night. But if you really watched him in the fourth quarter, you could tell he was not the same Allen Iverson that he was in Philadelphia in terms of looking for himself first to create opportunities offensively. There's no doubt he was trying to share the ball and get other guys involved. But in this game, they needed Allen Iverson to take over and be the guy that he was in Philly that was going to get the primary source of scoring in the fourth quarter. You could see he was kind of deferring, trying to fit in the fourth. First 3 quarters, that's fine, but tonight they need him to take over. He really didn't do that, guys. I think take too many shots in the fourth quarter.
Of the trade, but due to the rules, was unable to get on the roster in time. Andre Iguodala, Andre Miller, Smith, neither one of them played. Oh, man. Willie Green, Sixers in transition. Iguodala, career-high 31 points, and the Sixers go on to win 98-83.
2 in three-point shooting. You check our ones to watch. Sean Marion with 8 points, 5 boards. Stoudemire got into quick foul trouble with 2. They took him out, but he's since come back to play and play strong. Butler has 12 points. Gilbert Arenas has 24 points.
But, you know, Coach knows what type of competitor I am. And, you know, that's the way the game was flowing. And he just let me play. And I'm glad he did.
At the end of the first half. Ouch. And hobbled off the court at halftime, and just a moment ago caught up with Jim Gray.
At the end of the first half, it looked like you turned your right ankle. Are you okay?
Yeah, I feel all right. Just rolled it, but it's bounced back.
Did you retape it or get any treatment?
No, hopefully it'll be good enough to not need any extra treatment.
Steve, thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Dave.
10 points and 5 assists for Steve Nash. So Nash says he's okay. Is Washington okay? Can they sustain this lead? They had an 11-point lead at the end of the first quarter, but then blew that lead.
Gilbert Arenas, he is the key to this. Now, he had sluggish starts to both quarters, but if he can come alive here, he had 24 first half points, 17 of those in the first quarter. Tremendous field goal percentage. Brendan Haywood, I've never seen him play better. Caron Butler is doing a nice job, but where's Antoine Jameson? This is a guy who had 33 and 13 last night. Antoine Jameson only has 8 points, but he does have 8 rebounds, all on the defensive end.
And 24 points, 9 of 16 shooting for Gilbert Arenas. Let's go back to Jim Gray.
All right, I spoke to Mike D'Antoni. He said, hey, look, everybody has bad days. Take your pick. We're having a bad day. 3 for 19 from the three-point line. We're getting the shots. We're going to continue to take them. Hopefully here in this half, we will hit them. We have a definite lack of energy. We've got to find a way to pick it up. Don't blame the travel. Don't let anybody say that. That's a bad excuse. Dave?
Yeah, obviously the game Wednesday night in Denver postponed, and then the Suns snowed in until today. Had to fly out of Colorado Springs late in the day as Stoudemire gets called for goaltending, basket to Arenas. But the Suns did not arrive in Phoenix until 6 o'clock tonight, and then came to the arena right from there.
Mike D'Antoni is not going to make any excuses. He's certainly not going to allow his players to, but nobody for Phoenix has been particularly sharp. And will Steve Nash be able to overcome that rolled ankle? First signs for both Arenas and Nash, very positive.
And if Nash, for some reason, can't play the entire half or has to play limited minutes because of that ankle, there is good news. The Suns did go on that run to retake the lead in the second quarter as Haywood travels with Nash out of the game, which has to be pleasing to Mike D'Antoni. One of few things that are pleasing to the coach tonight.
Even though Brendan Haywood gets called for traveling there, he's looking very strong. And Washington, unlike the first and the second quarters, they are looking positively brilliant here to get it going here in the third.
Stoudemire just 6 points in the game. That's only his 5th shot, coming off a 28-point game the other night against Toronto. 3 for Stevenson is there.
Last night in the game at Sacramento, 44 points in the third quarter.
Nash able to answer for 3. 5 straight for Steve Nash, and now 15 in the game.
This is where Gilbert Arenas and the Wizards get into trouble, when he starts walking the ball up the court.
Arenas for 3, no. And then Caron Butler will get called for a second personal in the first on Washington.
Steve Nash doesn't look hurt at all here. The brilliant release, the high finish. I think he's the MVP again this year.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Career high in points, career high in assists, career high in three-point shooting. Numbers are all better, obviously, than they've been the last 2 years when he's won the awards. How can you not vote for him again?
And the team is the best team in the NBA right now.
15 consecutive wins for the Suns coming in tonight. That's the most in the NBA since the Lakers had 19 in a row back in 2000.
And I'm old enough to remember when people thought this Phoenix Sun team was dead in the water at a 1-5 start.
Stevenson, that's a 2. His foot was on the line. Well, there's only been 3 guys to win 3 straight MVPs.
Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, and Larry Bird.
2%.
Looks like Eddie's going to lead Brennan in, so he has to be smart out there.
Gilbert drives, reverse layup, no good. Haywood battling, comes right to Butler, who drives, draws contact, and scores. You just can't say enough about his play either.
He has been so consistent. Caron Butler, double figures in every game, leads this team in rebounding.
Wizards by 9. Diaw for Nash for 3. Haywood up high for another rebound. Arenas for Butler, and he wisely backs it out. Now he looks to make the move. Fadeaway jumper, good. Caron Butler with 16 points, and the Wizards stretch their lead to 11. Nash against Jamison now. They're looking underneath for Diaw. Kicks it out to Marion. Into the corner for the long jumper, no good, and Jamison has it.
Possession did a good job of keeping the Suns out of the middle. That's what they're trying to do, either through passing or penetration.
Butler with Bell on him. Takes the jumper, too strong. Nash pushes it up, always looking. Great court sense, in the same vein as Bird and Magic, the way they could see everything on the court. Wizards get the steal.
Stoudemire not able to pass out of that double team and committed the turnover.
Stevenson, good for 3. Deshaun Stevenson, and Mike D'Antoni wants time. Wizards with their largest lead of 14, and they have silenced the crowd here in the Valley of the Sun. Wow.
Still, only 2 missed shots for Nash. Actually 3. He missed. That's right. He missed 1-3 just a few moments ago.
He's 8 of 11, has 19 points. Gilbert knocks down a jumper. 28 for Arenas.
You got to find Nash right now.
There he is. There he is. Nice rebound by Marion. To kick it out to Nash, who gets a series of screens and scores.
What you have to admire about Steve Nash, he's not a big-time scorer, although this year averaging 19-plus points, his highest that he's ever averaged in his career. But there'll be some games when he's in single digits, but he's very more apt to find his teammates and hit the open pass.
Double team on Butler. They go to Arenas with 5 to shoot. Pulls up for the long 3. Got another one. Gilbert Arenas is putting on another clinic here in Phoenix.
31 points for Gilbert. For a split second, Shawn Marion forgot who he was guarding.
Oh, my.
Wow. We said it was going to be a tremendous backcourt battle tonight. And that's what it's been. 31 for Gil, 24 for Nash.
Wizards by 11. Back to Stevenson for the jumper, a little bit short. And the rebound to Nash. Bill sneaks inside and stolen by Stevenson. Stevenson 1-on-3, and he nearly palmed it. And the Wizards throw the ball away. Got a little too caught up in that fast break and the pressure from Phoenix. And Washington commits its 6th turnover of the night. Nash has all 14 of Phoenix's points here in the 3rd. Here's Butler. And a foul will be called on Caron Butler, and that will be his 3rd personal.
Well, Steve Nash did something that we see a lot from Gilbert Arenas, and that is come from the blind side. He was guarding Caron, but for a split second, Karan looked one way, and he snuck around from the other side and stripped him.
So he used that left arm to wrap around a little bit, which they don't call. Diao, swing it for Nash, goes around Arenas. Nice play by Butler for the steal.
Saw that all the way, didn't he?
His anticipation is phenomenal. Jamison, short jumper, couldn't get the bounce. Nash for the jumper. Good. No, he missed it short. Oh, I thought that was it.
He's so used to saying good.
And from our angle where we sit behind it.
Gotta be a
and it is. That's a technical on Nash.
Rebound initially, and you could have called it right there, and then they call it on the trip. Slam the ball and get the technical. And even if it didn't come up through his hands as Steve tried to catch it, that should have been a technical right there.
Arenas sliding. Fouled by Bell. Count the basket. Second on.
You see him turn the corner around Kurt Thomas, and he tries to get set. Gilbert moves around him and still draws the contact. Great play by Gilbert.
Arenas gives the Wizards their largest lead of 15. It is the 12th time this season that Arenas has scored 30 or more points in a game. He's got 34. Wide open Marion, and you got to cover him. Wizards are not good at defending the three.
Well, Karan Butler was trying to come on the top side, and as we said so often, Kurt Thomas, very skilled veteran at catching people on picks and holding them up.
Arenas again. Missed that one. Haywood. Thomas had a hold of his jersey. Haywood looks at Tony Brothers and says, come on, call that. Thomas with a screen. Bell's jumper no good. And a loose ball foul will be called on Boris Diaw. And Kurt Thomas checks out of the game. Leandro.
We'll have more later, but right now back to Dave and Bill. And by the way, Merry Christmas, guys.
In the lineup for Washington with Arenas, Stevenson, Butler, and Jamison. So the Wizards go small as well. Antoine guarded by Marion, looking for Jarvis Hayes. Flips it out for Jarvis, forces up a jumper and rims it, and he got fouled. He got fouled, and he'll shoot 2 shots. The foul on Boris Diaw.
Well, official Tony Brothers saying he hand-checked him. Let's see if we can pick that up. Does he get him on the waist right there?
Might have, or the chest, somewhere in that area. Fans saw the replay, didn't like it. Hayes misses the free throw.
Well,
last night, the Wizards...
Unfortunately, they played that tape just as Jarvis was about to shoot.
Yeah.
Plus, you heard the fan reaction, and then on the side...
Hayes gets 1 of 2.
You had Raja Bell raising his hands, and the concentration, I'm sure, was affected by Jarvis.
Last night, the Wizards missed 12 free throws in Sacramento, still won the game. Alley-oops of beauty from Marion.
Well, that certainly was Matrix-like. They call him the Matrix man, but he just stretched out, continued to go up, and slammed that down with one hand.
The lead is 8. Wizards led by 15 just a few minutes ago. And the sweet jumper by Gilbert Arenas. Agent Zero connects. 36 for Arenas. Marion fouled as he goes to the glass.
Not a bad foul for Gilbert. Just
employee Ale Elgin Baylor, that massive throwdown by Sean Marion, trying to get some sort of spark for these Phoenix Suns, who, despite what D'Antoni says, they have left their legs in Denver.
And then Arenas on the other end answering. 36 points for Gilbert Arenas to lead all scores. Made 14 out of 24 from the field. Suns are struggling at the foul line, just 5 out of 9. Washington is 11 of 12 at the stripe.
For Washington to hold on and win this game, Gilbert's going to need at least a total of 50.
I think so, huh? Well, he said to Jim Gray at halftime when he was joking about comments made at the start of the season about wanting to put up 50 on Mike D'Antoni. And Nate McMillan, the two assistant coaches that are NBA head coaches on that USA basketball team, and he joked that he was halfway there. He might get 50. And I think he'll take a Washington win. Three by Barbosa. Phoenix back within 7. That's ruled a 2 by Barbosa. And it's put on the line.
D'Antoni set the pace when he took out his big guys, Amari Stoudemire and Kurt Thomas. Eddie Jordan, it took him maybe 2 minutes to counter that. Now the largest player on the court is Jarvis Hayes, who's now playing behind the three-point arc at about 6'7.5".
Now Jamison's on the floor. He's about 6'8", 6'9". 3 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Butler for 3. Big shot by Caron Butler with time winding down on the shot clock. 8 in the quarter for Butler, 20 in the game. Nash in trouble. Beautiful hang and find. Marion with the flush. 7 assists now for Steve Nash.
Steve comes back limping a little bit, holding that left knee. I only hope he's going to be okay. I had no idea Steve Nash had hang time like Michael Jordan.
Nash rolled his right ankle at the end of the first half. Missed by Butler.
Sean Marion on that right wing.
So's Barbosa. Got Butler in the air. Can't knock it down, though. And Jamison with a board. He's in double figures, rebounding with 11, but only 8 points after 33 last night in a win against Sacramento. Arenas gets called for the offensive foul. That's his 3rd personal.
They wave it off, going the other way. The Phoenix Suns, Raja Bell, Leandro Barbosa have turned this game for Phoenix, but Raja Bell so tough, not having a big offensive game tonight.
And let's check in with Jim Gray.
Dave, early in the season, according to Eddie Jordan, who told us before the game, Gilbert Arenas was wacko. He said he was worried about getting calls. We see Boris Diaw right there get a basket and a...
Zona and Lute Olson not drafted where he thought he would be. He's the highest scoring second-round draft pick since they went to the 2-round draft format in 1989.
Butler fouled with 4 on the shot clock. Didn't hit it, but he'll go to the line. Barbosa gets called for the person. 20 seconds to go in the quarter.
Eddie Jordan is giving a few limited minutes to Calvin Booth right here, and it cost them dearly. Phoenix playing extremely small and just beating them with quickness, the Wizards, to the hoop on the offensive glass.
Here's Arenas with 36 in the game. 1-on-1 against Bell. 3 seconds to go in the period. Arenas hitting the shot. Again over Raja Bell with 0.7 seconds left. Bell from three-quarter court.
And Raja Bell, he should not be...
You were around. See the Wizards, who have scored 10 straight of over 100 points. 7-2 record. And Washington beating Phoenix at their own game right now. The Suns average 111 a game. That's first in the league. Wizards are 4th in the league at almost 106 per game. Nash picked up by Hayes. They lob it in, and Diaw got away with a push. How can you not see that if you're standing right there?
Yeah, Daniels had great front position, had to push him off and then grab that lob with 2 hands.
Gilbert guarded by Marion as Haywood gets set to check back in. Gilbert, great pass for Jamison. He couldn't finish. And they'll call an offensive foul this time as Jack Nees whistles the foul. They got Diaw this time.
I just caught the tail end of that. I'm thinking that Diaw, and this team likes the transition game, so he's running the wing, and I think that Gilbert placed himself right in front of him, something that I used to see Kevin Porter do all the time for the Bullets.
Gilbert inside, puts it up and scores. Gilbert Arenas has scored 40 points for the 6th time this season and the 25th in his career. 24 of them with Washington. Baseline jumper, good. Wow. Leandro Barbosa, who had hit 44 three-pointers coming into this game. Phoenix is 9 of 31 from three-point range. The closest it's been in a long time since it was 55-52. Barbosa got the pass off as he slid out of bounds. The Wizards nearly forced turnover. Nash for 3.
Let's see how Washington responds to this. It's a one-point game now. Everybody's on their feet.
Talk about a hostile environment. Jamison, 4-3, way off. Haywood battling, but Phoenix has it.
They've got to do better with that pick and roll. You see that passing lane. Nash can pick you apart, and Amari knows how to finish.
First lead by the Suns since they were up 52-50.
Since late in the second quarter. The star comparison tonight, Gilbert Arenas, yes, leading in the points. Steve Nash forced to shoot a lot, but he does have 9 assists as well. Gilbert yet to get a single assist. Three-point shooting magnificent for both guys, but right now it's the defense of Phoenix that has shut down the one-on-one style for Washington, and they don't have a single player who's really hot at this juncture of the game.
Arenas missing. Rebound by Stevenson has been terrific in the second half. 14 points in the game for Deshaun Stevenson, 10 in the second half.
A telling statistic, though, is that Phoenix has more than doubled up total assist numbers tonight. Steve Nash loses the ball inside, and here comes Caron Butler with numbers.
Butler between the legs and then the block by Diop. And then a loose ball foul called on Arenas. That's the 4th on Gilbert Arenas.
What a remarkable play by almost everybody involved. Leandro Barbosa forces that play, and then Diao high above the rim to block that shot after the beautiful behind-the-back dribble shades of Pete Maravich.
Is that a foul on Diao? Look close. But no call. Now Nash behind the back to Stoudemire. That's 29 assists now for Phoenix, only 12 for Washington.
The Wizards 18-10 in the 4th, and fans, we invite you to elect Gilbert Arenas, Antoine Jamison, and Caron Butler to the NBA All-Star team by voting daily on WashingtonWizards.com, and send our representatives to Las Vegas. Steve Nash, 27 points, 10 assists. How about this pass?
Just right on the money between 2 defenders. Stoudemire, all he has to do is flush it down. One more look, and he just has a knowing of where everybody is on that floor, both defensively and offensively.
Eyes in the back of his head, just the way, as I said, that players like Rick Barry did, and Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, they had that court sense, and clearly he's got it.
And they're usually 2 or 3 steps ahead of everything.
3 players with double-doubles tonight, Diao, Marion, and Nash. Stevenson, Butler, Jamison, Haywood, Arenas for Washington. Gilbert has 4 fouls and 40 points. Jamison forced to spin. Finds Stevenson with 4 to shoot. Now he's got to pop something up. Drive strong and hits.
Shot.
What a shot by Stevenson.
That shot clock down to about 3 or 4 seconds. Deshaun knew that he had to take it and take the shot.
16 points for Deshaun Stevenson. Oh, great play. And a foul will be called on Stevenson.
Boy, just great ball movement on the part of the Suns. They move the ball around, very unselfish. We mentioned #1 in the league. They have averaged 26 assists per game. Right now, they have 29.
So Marion back to the free throw line, where he is 4 of 6 tonight. 22 points, 10 rebounds.
Well, shot clock winding down on Washington's last possession. Deshaun knows that he has to make something happen. Makes a tough shot.
Marion gets them both. Suns again by 1. Steve Buckhantz with Phil Chenier and our Comcast Sportsnet crew as the Wizards try to go 3-1 on this road trip after wins against the Lakers and Sacramento last night. Arenas drives, reverse layup, no good.
I think that was partially blocked.
Wizards get the steal. Gilbert off the glass, too strong. Butler's there. Puts it up and in. Boy, he is strong.
A great, tenacious play by both Brendan and Caron Butler.
Butler with 24 points. And they miss. Haywood for Arenas. Gilbert the other way. Pulls up on the jumper. No good. And chased down by Barbosa. Washington by one. Alley-oop. Marion, and he got fouled. Fans, Canon Business Solutions is a Canon USA company providing best-in-class document management solutions. For all your office technology needs, it's Canon Business Solutions, Washington's source for document management. Antoine perfect from the line. The Wizards 17 of 18 from the free throw line. 94%. They lead by one. What a game this has been.
Bunch of lead changes.
And on the pass, they're going to call Brendan Haywood for reaching in on Nash. That's his fifth personal. And I think Eddie Jordan's just going to let him stay in there and see what happens. Nash for the bonus situation. He missed one tonight. He's 2 of 3 from the line, 11 of 16 from the field, 28 points, 10 assists.
Boy, I just thought this, last year in that 1-point victory here, it was Nash that missed a couple of free throws down the stretch then.
Yep. Arenas. Looking bad pass. And the Wizards lucky to get it back. Stevenson, no call, and he got the basket. Boy, he's been some kind of tough tonight.
Yeah, they've let a lot of contact go. I thought he may have been guilty of coming over the back of Nash to try and keep him away from that ball.
18 points for Deshaun Stevenson. Whip it into the corner for the Dial jumper, short. And how about that? Rebound to Stoudemire. Nash for 3.
He's 12 for 17. He's only missed 5 shots. Has 32 points. Also has 10 assists.
9 lead changes in the quarter. Arenas knocks it down to tie the game. 42 points for Gilbert. Steve Nash, MVP last season for the second consecutive year. Nearly lost it. Only 8 other players have done that, back-to-back MVPs. Guarded by Stevenson. Gets around him, kicks it out for the short jumper good.
Well, that just shows you the benefits of having a team that's been together for several years. They know each other. They know when to come off a player. They know when to stay away.
Butler inside. Knocked away by Stoudemire, and Butler fouls Nash. Accuracy from the free throw line was the best in Suns franchise history at 92%. In 279 attempts last year, he missed only 22.
Still plenty of time.
Arenas bumped by Marion.
What
still
concentration.
Scores.
Boy, he got really bumped hard by Marion.
Wizards are called for a delay of game warning. Arenas checking the side of his face, has 44 points.
Well, what kind of concentration was that? He got knocked back by Marion, still had the balance to recover and put the shot down.
Nash, guarded by Jamison for Dial. They swing it to Marion. Underneath Dial. Missed it, but he got fouled. Suns looking to extend their winning streak to 16 straight games. Arenas again. Little strong. Stevenson is there. For Hayes is 3. Good. Jarvis Hayes with a gigantic 3. And a timeout. No, it's a delay of game warning on Stevenson. And that's a technical foul as the Wizards has picked up their second. I did not see what happened. But a possibly costly technical foul on Deshaun Stevenson. How about that?
What do you know?
2 misses in the game for Nash, who's 5 of 7 from the line.
Steve, this is really I mean, this is almost deja vu.
Yeah, reminiscent of last year. Deshaun Stevenson, who got the tee for delay of game, has a season-high 18 points. Under a minute to go. Suns by 1.
I'm like you. I didn't see what happened over there.
Nash off the screen. Looking to penetrate. Kicks it to Barbosa. Guarded by Arenas. They dump it inside to Stoudemire. Spins inside. Backbreaker. Gilbert penetrates. Draws a foul, and he nearly got the shot to go.
Boy, Shawn Marion doing everything he can to stay in front of Gilbert Arenas, but unlike we understand Amari Stoudemire, Gilbert has a load of moves, gets his man up in the air, gets the contact, nearly got that shot to go down.
Gilbert tonight is 3 of 3 from the line. 44 points.
At 44 points, now 45, the highest by any opponent of the Suns this year. The highest before that was 38 when Jason Kidd had a huge triple-double in that big overtime game they had in New Jersey.
It's the 6th time this season that Arenas has scored 40 or more points in a game. 22nd timeout taken by the Suns, who are looking to win their 16th straight game tonight. It would tie them for the 10th longest single-season win streak in NBA history, and the 4th longest since the 82-83 season. Washington will face the Grizzlies the day after Christmas, then in Charlotte the following night. Back home to play Orlando on Friday, at Milwaukee, and then taking on Milwaukee in successive fashion at home. Wizards are 12 and 13 on the season. Correction, 13 and 12 on the season. Looking to go above 2 games above 500 for the first time this year. Suns are looking to improve to 19 and 6 on the. Tipped up, not there. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Phoenix ball. 26 and 3/10 seconds and a new 24-second clock.
Amari.
That's where you miss Brendan
That's where you
Haywood.
miss Brendan. I was just thinking that Amari really can exert his strength out there and nearly came up with a couple of offensive rebounds.
Haywood is fouled out of the game. Stevenson trying desperately to foul Nash. They didn't call the foul, and then they finally did. So Nash will go to the line. They're looking to go 19 and 6 on the year. Only 4 other Suns teams have posted a higher winning percentage before Christmas. In fact, in 04-05, they were 23 and 3 prior to the Christmas break.
Steve, that was a foul that the Wizards wanted to give.
Well, I guess they did to try to get.
It's a 1-point game. They would have gotten another possession.
Right. And you fouled the best free throw shooter.
You fouled the best free throw shooter.
So the Wizards will take a $100 per point. That's $4,600 tonight, and so far, $35,000.
Well, this trip is really dug deep into Mr. Poland's pocket,
hasn't it? $6,000 against the Lakers.
Yeah.
Wizards have won 9 out of the last 12, beating Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas, New York, Philly, Denver, Miami, and LA, and Sacramento, losing to Chicago, Houston, and Denver. Here's Arenas. Gilbert drives on Marion, draws a foul, and he scores! How do you like that? He is spectacular. Oh, my.
It's a tough position to be in defensively because you have a player like Gilbert that's so aggressive. You don't want to commit the foul. So watch Shawn Marion trying to take away the shot. Doesn't want to get too much contact, but Gilbert's so aggressive. Makes sure he gets that contact, bumps off him, and great concentration. Flips that shot up off the glass.
Is he unbelievable or what? Had 60 against the Lakers, 30 last night at Sac, 48 points tonight. Gets the three-point play and ties the game at 127. Shot clock is off. 15 seconds to play. Nash with a screen from Stoudemire. Now Jamison, Nash, jumper, no good. Rebound tipped away by Marion, puts it up. Foul out there, and Hayes has it, and we're going to overtime. Phoenix had 3 shots at the basket and couldn't convert.
The last one, a reverse layup by Amari, just came short on it, didn't really get the full extension, and it got caught up in the rim, and Jarvis secured the rebound.
Got to have Jamison jump up with Stoudemire because they're not going to use Booth, and Haywood is fouled out. There's the tip. It's controlled by Phoenix. Steve Buckhantz, Phil Chenier, our Comcast Sportsnet crew, as the Wizards, who've won 4 of 5 games on the road, 9 of 12 overall. Nash for Stoudemire. 7 to shoot. Nash missed it. Stevenson is there. Deshaun has a season-high 18 points. Arenas for Jarvis. Hayes penetrates, running jumper, no good.
Well, you should figure he has the foot speed. He has the foot speed on Stoudemire.
Phoenix draws first blood in the 5-minute overtime. You have got to get back on this team in transition. Suns have 30 points from their bench. The Wizards 8, all by Jarvis Hayes. Jamison flip scoop underneath, got the assist for Phoenix. Stoudemire spins on Jamison, scores, and he's fouled. Antoine needs some help on that baseline because he just can't cover him by himself.
Before you saw him spin to his left, now he spins back to his right, both times going baseline and finishing at the rim.
Stoudemire 0 for 1 from the free throw line tonight, 14 points, 8 rebounds. .131, 128, 3:35 to play in overtime. Jamison again, flips one up, missed everything. Nash the other way. Marion, or is it Diaw? It is for Nash.
He's calling for Stoudemire to set the pick.
He does. They help out on him. Marion, and 3 seconds is called on Phoenix. Same 2 teams will meet again January 23rd back in Washington. You may want to see if you can get your tickets now for that.
Just enough time for the teams, each team to catch their breath and do it all over again. Last
season they split a pair, each team winning on the other's home court. Wiz won here 112-111 in December. Phoenix took the final matchup 104-99 5 days later. Gilbert pulls the trigger. Got another one! Gilbert Arenas, a 2-point field goal. He has 51 points in the game. He is simply incredible. Nash, Wizards down by a point. 10 to shoot. Nash around Hayes. Scoop shot, no good. Jamison is there.
Well, good defense and nice rebound by Jamison.
Butler drives inside, jump hook, good. Wizards have regained the lead by a point. 2:10 to go in overtime. Knocked away by Butler. Diaw in the low post. Spins on Hayes. Taken away by Butler. And then it got tripped, and the ball went out of bounds. Phoenix ball with 4 to shoot. 4 on the shot clock for Phoenix. And D'Antoni won 4 seconds on the shot clock. Butler nearly got the steal on the previous play to the timeout. Did he get fouled? Here's Diaw inside. Watch Diaw roll into Butler.
And that kicks his leg, his right leg behind his left leg, and then he trips at that point over his own leg. But That saved a possession and maybe even a fast break opportunity for the Wizards.
So there are 4 seconds on the shot clock with which Phoenix has to operate here, trailing by 1. Gilbert Arenas, 51 points in the game, had 17 in the first quarter. Nash, 36 points, 12 assists.
Make that pass go away from the basket.
They give it to Marion, puts it up, missed it, tip not there. Butler has the rebound for Washington. 1:47 to play in regulation. Wizards by 1. Butler drives underneath, reverse layup is good. Wizards by 3. 1:36 to go. 28 points for Caron Butler. Into the corner, long jumper, no good, way short, but right to Stoudemire. Flips it, nearly taken away. Marion for Nash to tie the game.
Well, Steve Nash had a lot of time to get his feet set. 33 points for him. Make that 39.
Butler drives, short jumper, got another one. 30 points for Caron Butler. 96 points for the big three combined. Missed it. Rebound, Washington.
Well, there was a huge collision under the basket. D'Antoni is really complaining.
Caron Butler, 30 in the game, 6 in the overtime. Wizards by 2. 10 on the shot clock for Arenas. Gilbert fires. Too strong. He got it off the glass! He got it off the glass! Gilbert Arenas. Nash the other way for Stoudemire underneath, and he's held and fouled. They'll give him 2 shots.
That's a good foul. You don't want to let him power up to the basket.
Gilbert Arenas has 54 points. He is 21 of 37. Phil, I thought this shot was too strong.
Well, it did look that way, but it was perfect for the glass.
Wizards by 5 with 22.6 seconds left. Stoudemire 0 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. Has that one. 15 points for him and 9 rebounds. This can cut it to 3 with 22 and 6/10 seconds left. So the inbounds pass will be critical, and so will the free throws. That one's good. And Washington will take time to give Phoenix with 1 foul to give. That makes it interesting. Agent Zero with 54 points. The hibachi grill is lit. Grab a plate and stand in line.
It's cooking. Off the glass.
Butler, and he's fouled instantly by Diaw. That's just critical to get it in. To Butler. Butler is held, and he will go to the line where Caron Butler has made all 5 of his free throws tonight. The Wizards have missed just 2 on the night. They're 21 of 23. And that is it for Boris Diaw. He has fouled out of the game with 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 11 assists.
Well, he's a very versatile player. You talked about his numbers last year that earned him most improved player.
Gigantic. This one will give the Wizards a 5-point lead with 21 and 1/10 seconds to go in overtime. Got them both. Phoenix takes their 22nd timeout. This time last year, after 25 games, the Wizards were 11 and 14. They come into this game 13 and 12. Caron Butler has 8 points in the overtime.
Well, he's a big-time player, and those free throws very cool and calmly dropped him down. but he's been the Wizards' most steady player all year long. He's been in double-figure scoring every game, and he's also their leading rebounder. Go back to their leading scorers.
Phil, the big three have combined for 101 points tonight.
Make that
Am I right or not?
I think you're right. But I was going to say they scored 112 points, I want to say, in the Laker game. And I'm not sure if that's it. I know it's a whole bunch.
All right, let's see if they can hang on here. Up by 5. Barbosa around Stevenson. Backs up. Jacks a 3. No good. Rebound. Stoudemire. No good. Rebound. Daniels. And he is fouled with 10 and 9/10 seconds to go. And Antonio Daniels will go to the line for the first dollars tonight. 6,000 against the Lakers. Gilbert has 54 points in the game. Here we go with 10 and 6/10 seconds to play, and the Suns trailing by 6.
Don't give up the quick 3.
Nash fires. Got it. Three-pointer for Nash. And the Wizards take a time with 10.6 seconds to play. Butler chased and fouled with 5.2 seconds to go as he slides out of bounds, and he's helped up by Amari Stoudemire. So Caron Butler, who has 32 points, 7 of 7 from the line, and 10 rebounds. 3 Wizards have double-doubles tonight. Haywood, Jamison, and Butler. 32 points, 10 boards. See Haywood talking to Darius Songaila. Caron Butler
Got it.
with 9 points in the overtime. That gives the Wizards a 4-point lead with 5 2/10 seconds to play in the OT.
And the Suns out of timeouts. They'll have to inbound this quickly and just push it up.
He makes it. Nash over the timeline, fires the jumper, misses, and that will do it. The Washington Wizards have snapped the Phoenix Suns win streak at 15 games, and the Wizards are the Grinch that stole the Suns' Christmas.
For 54 points tonight, you said you were going to put up 50. What does it mean to you now to be able to do this in front of Jerry Colangelo and Mike D'Antoni?
I said 50. I got 50. 1 down, 1 to go.
Talking about Nate McMillan with 54. So you're holding the grudge here, aren't you?
1 down, 1 to go.
Streak busters. You guys have now ended Dallas' streak, and now you come in here and end a 15-game winning streak against the Phoenix Suns. What does that mean to you guys?
It feels good. Mother Nature helped us on this one, keeping them in Denver. They got in about 6:30, so that helped us out a lot. We figured if we can just run, keep up the pace with them, they'll die out from, staying in Denver so long.
Eddie Jordan told us before the game, when you straightened things out early in the season, the team straightened things out. What was it that caused you to turn the corner?
I wanted to finish on the level I started at, when I finished, playoffs. I wanted to start out back on that level. And I think I was frustrating myself because I was looking for those same calls at the beginning of the year. So I was, my mind was focused on the refs on the road, and, I couldn't get it straight. Then all of a sudden it's just... Actually, Jack Neese helped me out. He said, just play your game.